Welcome to News with a View, hosted by me, John A. Costa. This is a conservative leaning podcast, but I take the relative issues from either side. And if it makes sense, it makes sense. If it conforms to the Constitution, our laws, then it makes sense. And I have no problem with it. I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican, I'm a Federalist, not an independent, and not MAGA. I do try to take on both sides of an issue. And I'll look at it, and if I can make sense of it, and it makes sense for the conservative movement, then that's the position I'm going to go with. If it does not, I will say so. And when I think the Democrats go off the rail, which is completely where they've been, you know I'll say that. But I don't try to belittle the Democrats. They're doing a great job doing that themselves. They don't need my help. But I do say and question both sides. And I've said it before, and I'll just say it again so people understand this. I don't love everything that's going on in our government right now. And I didn't hate everything that was going on with our government under Biden or even Obama. So, with saying that, with the exception of Bob in New York, where I will always take the opposite of what he thinks, because, see, I'm right, and he's just wrong. So, all right, everyone. Today, June 15th, this is episode 83 of my programming. You can look it up on my videos. I did have a playlist going. I probably will, in the future, catalog all that again, and you could look back. And really, you get a good idea of where I sit on issues. Big issue today, the Iranian deal. The big issue today, what's in it? What's in this deal? President Trump, of course, is, championing it. And that's what they do. I get that. And I know that he said he signed it, it's done, it's, Iran is always saying something different. My problem with any deals with Iran, they're not deals. They're delays. And you could have Iran really screw with our elections again like they did. Ask Jimmy Carter. So you got to be careful with these people. The good thing is they really have been degraded. Do they still have a formidable? No, not really. But you could wipe out a nest of 1,000 bees. And if there's still 50 of them left, they could sting you. And it will hurt just as bad. So, could we, I didn't like when Trump was saying, we wiped them all out, they got nothing. It's never the case. It's never the case. I think we have degraded Iran. And that, but there's so many sources for Iran to replenish what they've lost from, you know, North Korea, from our allies, from China, Russia, that you got to watch out. You know, we're going to release a lot of money to them. That's going to be part of the deal. You know, unfreeze their assets and unfreeze things. Now, they might have to hit milestones to get that. Who knows? I don't know. I would imagine they have to meet some type of performance to get there, but you don't know. I don't know what the deal is, so I can't say it's a good deal, it's a bad deal. Of course, the POSs on the Democrat side, you know, you got your loudmouths, you know, automatically screaming it's bad. Jack Reed, a senator, Democrat, Rhode Island, comes from that same place that freaking Kennedy, I'm sorry, this White House comes from, where they should have someone like Kennedy sitting there. I've never seen anyone on the Senate that has been as bad as White House. And the guy just doesn't make sense. He's a whiner. You know, he's just not a very, he's not a very smart guy to be sitting there. So he said, this is, you know, we're getting less on this deal than we would have gotten from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action that was done under Obama. Now, of course, under Obama, they gave, you know, Biden gave them billions and billions of dollars and allowed them to continue on with a nuclear program that they said they were never doing. So I don't know if I would use that as an example to put down this plan yet. Whether or not Iran will be allowed to make nuclear material, which I personally, as long as they do it under the watchful eyes that everyone else that's doing it, other than, of course, Israel and North Korea, they're not under the eyes of these people. I guess it's going to be all right. So I don't know if Jack Reed is going to be right on it or not. I would say he's not going to be right on it. He seldom is. Seth Moulton, representative from Massachusetts, said the terms already sound like a surrender document by the United States. What is this guy? No. Hakeem Jeffries, the war itself was reckless, but he at least said, let's see what's in it. Let's see what's in it. So he has backed down on his words a bit. He's got to speak. He's been spoken to. Keep your mouth shut. Let Schumer do all the talking for everyone. Jamie Harrison, former DNC chairperson for the Democratic National Committee, summed it up and just said the words coming from the Democrats is just typical words coming from the Democrats. And he goes, what did you expect them to say? They love it. This is going to be a major bone of contention, and there'll be people, pulling it apart. You spent $100 billion on a war. You could have spent it here. You could have did it there. Yeah, you could have also made sure that California wasn't wasting, $250 billion and $19 billion over in Minnesota. And God only knows we're only did 2 states. We've only looked at 2 states. So, yeah. Yeah. And it's not, I don't want to use it tit for tat or to say, well, see, that could have been used, because they would have just found something else to use that money for. It's the way the system works. But the Democrats, they're not going to get too much spin out of this. They can sit there and go, gas prices, and you would look and you go, absolutely, the gas prices went up. There's no denying that. And everything that associated with that went up. So, you can't say that did not happen. And it was a direct result of the action taken by the administration against Iran. So you're not going to get an argument from me on that. The argument that people can have is that as these gas prices go down, the other stuff that has gone up, I don't believe they're going to come down. They might come down a little bit, but you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it go back to where it was, 6 months ago. Not going to happen. Once the prices go up, they tend to stay up. And that's something that the president is going to have to deal with. That Republicans are going to have to answer that. And they can't just hide behind it and say it didn't happen, because it did happen. And it's there for everyone to see. I think that the president should also come out and say, we took after, we took after Iran because the following things were taking place that we just could not sit back and not do anything about. So I think in the end, the administration will be cautiously and tacitly approved of what they did, but basically, I see the November election being all about voting and whatever happens with ICE, which I'm fine with ICE doing what they're doing. That's their job. They were doing that under both blue and red administrations. So this is not, this can't be a shock to anyone, all right? This can't be a shock. And the only reason why ICE is in the forefront of the news is because our policies are finally being enforced. This was stuff that's been on the books. This is nothing new. This is it just being applied. You have a volume control that can go from 0 to 100. And it was always around 10 or 12, just enough that you'd hear about it and then it would fade away. And the president said, nope, crank that sucker. And let's light them up. And that's why you're seeing, unprecedented, yeah, because you never followed the law. And the same thing with sanctuary cities. There's no such thing as sanctuary cities. It doesn't exist. It's not a legal term. All right? And that's coming to an end, and these sanctuary cities are falling apart, and the money, you know, people are moving out. They're saying enough with this. Businesses are flocking out. Enough with it. Whereas we know in the end, you're going to have to raise all our taxes, and you're going to have to do things, and yeah, we don't want to be around for that. So we're going to go to a state that is fairly passive on businesses. They're not anti-business. And that's exactly what California is anti-business, New York is anti-business, New Jersey is anti-business. Well, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, they're not anti-business. And they're doing very well. So, Democrats, you're going to have a hard time convincing people that you've done a job that makes it a reason why we keep you in office. I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is going to be a good run for the Republicans. And you're getting called out right and left, even by your media. Even your media is going, You got Jill Biden out there, talking trash about the Democrats. You got the Democrats talking trash about the Democrats. It's a great time to be alive. Bob in New York. And Democrats are in for a nasty run. I haven't been on the last couple of days again. Like I've been saying, I haven't been feeling good. We're trying to figure out what's going on. And I go for all my blood work, everything else. Doctor couldn't be happier. And I'm like, well, I know I'm not, I don't know if I'm not allergic to cats now. Maybe after having COVID, I became allergic to cats, and we only had a dozen of them. So who knows? Who knows? But man, I've been ill and tired. All right, let's talk about birthright citizenship. That's this little baby right here. And Bob hates that. Hates that. 14th Amendment. The meaning of the 14th Amendment, how it became, how it was sponsored. The thinking behind the 14th Amendment, which is going to be partly used. I said before when this all came out, at first I was like, yeah, okay, that's something that, can't happen. And then I started reading. And I started reading about the 14th Amendment, looking at the words and go, well, what do the words mean in that document? Don't forget what they mean over here that I use outside that document. But what do they mean inside those paragraphs? And it became interesting, and I'm like, oh, ow, look at that. Sovereignty, jurisdiction. And I think the Supreme Court has a very good case to say that people that are here illegally are not covered under the 14th Amendment because we can't give them jurisdiction. And the children born to illegals don't automatically pick up that jurisdiction. And this is not going against, an illegal who married a United States citizen. Those children are citizens, and that's the end of it. So that's the way that works. And the same, I feel, is for anyone here under TPS, anyone under any of the protection statuses. Their children are citizens. They're here under the protection of the United States, and as such, they had a reason to be here, and they fall under the jurisdiction. Those people that are not under any protection or were, well, let me clarify that. If you were here under protection, and then that protection has been now removed from you, I would say any children born to you after that date, they don't have citizenship. But those children that were born here while you were given protection, yeah, they got citizenship. But it doesn't mean you got it. So you can be deported. Your children can stay. Or you could take your children with you, and then when they turn 18, they can get their passport, come right back in. There you go. They don't have to take an oath. They don't have to do anything. They've already got it. Hence the term birthrights. But those people that have come under the wire, swam over, have no documentation, have no what I would call blush or brush with immigration. We don't know who you are, so I can't speak for you on your sovereign rights because you don't have any. You have your sovereign rights go back to whatever country you left from. And as such, we don't have jurisdiction over you because we never even knew you were here. It'd be like me going, I was sending $5 a week to State Farm Insurance, and now I'm in an accident, and I want you to pay. And State Farm goes, you don't have a policy with us. We don't know who the hell you are. Well, I've been sending you $5 a week, and you've been cashing that check. And here I am. Now you have to protect me and give me all the rights of a policyholder. Do you think they should have to do that? I know. But that's the type of logic that the Democrats are using. And I think it's going to come back and bite them. And I think you'll have people melting down in the street when the Supreme Court goes, yeah, illegals don't have birthrights. They don't have them. They don't have the jurisdictional protection because we don't know who you are. We have no idea. And your children that were born here, yeah, they were born here, but they're still citizens or whatever, pristine, beautiful, wonderful country that you left from. Right? So, I think the jurisdiction, sovereignty, and those words, and looking back on, and you can't go back too far because the laws have changed, and what they are now were not the same what they were then. Got to be careful. You could say, well, it was a precedent. And the argument could be, if it was a precedent, we would have just wrote them in then and go, we're not making this precedent now. We're making this the word's law. So precedent does not always mean you continue on that path. If you rob the bank 9 times and you get caught the 10th, and you go, well, you never caught me those 9 times, so the precedent was I could rob a bank and get away with it. Well, now, why did you stop me the 10th time? Right? Right, I ask you, Bob? A child kills their parents and then throws themselves on the mercy of the court and begs for leniency because they're orphans now. Right, Bob? Yeah. Yeah. You better start thinking. And Trump with the little T, capital R, he's going to win this one. And when he does, I have a nice little small bottle of champagne. I'm drinking this one. The little bubbles make you tears. Give you tears. No, I won't do that. To me, it's just another ruling that should have always been the case. But the wheels grind slowly, but they do grind. Real quick, and I don't normally go with tabloid news, but since they make it political, the Texas Anthony guilty verdict of murder. And they're saying it was racist, and he got a bad deal because he had a white lawyer. I mean, I can't imagine anyone being more racist than what's coming out of some of these people. The white lawyer's no good. The family picked him. Family got $600,000, if not more, in GoFundMe. I mean, for a case where the kid goes, yeah, I stabbed him. I stabbed him good. And they go, well, he was threatened. You always bring a knife to attract me. Why'd you bring a knife with you? Because you were expecting trouble and you were going to deal with it? In case the other guy had a knife, did the person that was murdered, did they have a knife? Did they have a weapon? No. So bringing the knife made it premeditated. It wasn't like there was a knife on the ground and I picked it up because it was there, that things were happening, and now I felt threatened, and lo and behold, there was a knife. No, you brought a knife. This was premeditated. You thought about it. So, no, sir. I say good day. Good day to you, sir. And 35 years, you got to serve 17 and a half of them. He'll come out 35 years old. He still has his life in front of him. Person he murdered doesn't. Yeah. Well, he was bullied. Yeah. No, he wasn't. This kid had problems. The murderer had problems. And, the parents go, well, he didn't mean to kill him. Did he mean to stab him? I only went to stab him this much, not this much. The logic, and and the idea that the people saying that he could not get Carmelo Anthony could not get a fair trial. Absolutely ridiculous. Could he have been tried under juvenile? Yeah, he could have. He could have. They could have elected to do that. But they didn't. And the court didn't want to hear it. He was charged as an adult, which I'm not a believer in. I don't like that. Because 18 and you're an adult, or you're 21 and an adult, or, when are you an adult? Under certain religions, it's at a certain age. You're an adult. But if you're not, then they're all treated as children. They're treated the same. Because I want all adults treated the same. Well, I want all children to be, treated the same. So that I can get on board with people and go, yeah. So, all right, this has been 30 minutes. This is as far as I wanted to go today. And this was a stretch for me to go this far. I might edit this and play it back live. I'm not sure yet. We might. But everyone, thank you. And thank you to my new subscribers. I appreciate it. Please, if you made it this far, comment, like, subscribe. It helps in the algorithm. Leave messages, leave comments. That's fine. I answer them all. It might just be with a thank you because you might have gone off the page a little bit, and would debate you on some of the things, and or will acknowledge, hey, yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm wrong there. I misspoke. I don't do that often, and I'll never tell Bob I misspoke in New York, because Mr. B knows that Mr. C is just waiting for him to question. I'm just waiting for Mr. B to question Mr. C. We like that. All right. Please give to a charity if you can. Just make sure it's a legit charity. Don't become a victim trying to help victims. If you don't want to do that, or if you even want to do more, also give to a food bank. They need food. They also need monetary assistance. And 98% of the time, it helps you right in your community, and you're doing a good thing. Makes you feel good. Go to a food drive. Go to a local pantry. You see them out there. You need food. We serve food. Monday through Friday, or drive up and we give you a week's worth of canned food for a family of four or something. It helps. And yes, there's people taking advantage of it. But let's say even 30% of the people that are going there are taking advantage of it. Well, you're helping 70. So sometimes you'll get people that just game the system. I get it. Doesn't mean you punish the rest of them. Say a prayer. prayer works, regardless of what a Democrat might tell you. And with that, I'm going to say thank you. It's about 36 minutes long. Tonight is Monday. I will be at Socrates Station in Socrates, South Carolina. That's between Myrtle Beach and Murrells Inlet on the 707. Everyone knows where the 707 is. It's the other side of Faro Parkway, right off of 17. All right, everyone. Be safe, be good, be kind to one another. Except me with Bob in New York. All right, everyone. Thank you as I fade to black.